So we had that case where we had a company that sold about 5,000 different items that are being divided into 3 product lines. The way they did the reporting was as following. There was one department dealing with management report. It means that each time, usually around the 20th of each month, they had to produce their management report. There were another department managed by the controller. They made the financial reporting. They usually did that on a different time at that month. What really happened, and that would be only the first challenge there, what really happened is that when you look at the bottom line of the P&L reports within the economic reports, or when you look at the bottom line at the financial report, you get different numbers. This is confusing. Not only it happens there, it may also happen at any other lines of the P&L. Then whenever there was a management meeting, everyone was fighting about the numbers. Of course, this is not a good way to create the decision making. Our first stage of that process at that organization was to create a unified database both for the financial reporting and the management. We basically used our tools, and the data is the same data. When we record our information on the ERP or any other accounting system, the data is the same. We just have to make sure that it will be processed at the same time, history will remain, and we'll be able to track changes from the previous report. We have to make sure that if we got a new account, we know how to specify the specific account group and the specific financial group for that account. Again, that was only the first stage of that project, because what we made is a database that enabled them to create one bottom line and one source of truth for their financial information. So when they got that information, then they faced a different issue. It usually took them to produce report about 1 week, 2 people of working at each one of the departments. So basically 2 weeks during the month times 2 people, it was like 1 month to produce one report. Since there were a lot of details and all the reporting were based on Excel spreadsheet, what really happened is that the information and the analysis that could be done from that information was very, very minimal. So from 5,000 different items, they were able to manage about 3 product lines on their reporting. It means that if you look on a specific product line and you see, hey, there is a problem at that product line, you have no immediate way to analyze that. You cannot understand if that's because of a specific product group, specific items, or any other reason. What we enable at the second stage of the project is not only to get the automation of the process of data processing, and not only to get the financial and the management information both together at the same place, we also allow them to drill down into the detailed level of information, so they will be able to get the required information on any other issue that the reports are pointing at. So if we would like to summarize our added value of reporting solution at the arena of the CFO, we would say that we enable an automatic way to process the data. We unified between the financial data and the management data under the same database. We allow a better resolution of data, a better audit for the process, and most important, we actually plant the seeds to create better planning and controlling processes at the organization. Costing models are usually being considered as a challenge to create, to adapt, and to understand. Unfortunately, not all the organizations are really having a significant costing models that enables them to define what are the specific costs of each one of the items they are selling. Without the definition of a costing model, I would say that most of the organization will not be able to get a good planning. Because if you don't know how much it costs you, then how would you know how much to sell it? What we saw at organization is that costing models in some cases are being done by the ERP system. Most of the advanced ERP solutions at the market enables you to get information about costing. However, that information is limited. It would be only answering the first level of costing, which will be the direct cost. In some cases, even the direct costing at the ERP system will not be providing the correct information. What we would like to achieve when we create costing processes is not only to allow the full costing of a product, we would like to provide a tool to the organization to understand how different volume will affect the specific cost of one unit. And that, of course, is significant. Moreover, even if we take some organization that spend some money to get a better costing system, those systems usually deal with the actual costing. It means that they take the information that currently at the system, how much the inventory cost, how much the production cost, and so on, and they have a very good analysis capabilities for actual costing. However, when we deal with forecast, we would like to take similar models and to simulate the forecasted costing. We're living at a mad arena. Something is changed. The ingredients are being changed, the market is being changed, the product are being changed. Unless we will be able to forecast our costs, we will not be able to create a good planning processes. We do have a few different models for costing. I will not get into specific details for those models because it requires a much longer session. However, we need to understand that as compared with costing using Excel tool, when we use a system to do the costing, we get much accurate results. We can get deeper to the specific item level. We don't need to do costing only at the product level. We can get directly to the... We can do different costing for product and we can do different costing for customers. That would be two different perspectives of costing. Each one of them is important as the same. We will combine that costing methodology both for the actual data that gets in with the forecasted information. So we will at most cases, we will create the same model for costing analysis. For actual, we will have the same model that will be used at the organization for forecast as well. It is not trivial, especially not at the places where some of the costing is already being done at the ERP system. So we would like to combine them together. We will take that costing further on and we will try to get a profitability, of course, analysis after that.